Welcome back to the channel, folks. This is Jason, certified financial planner and host of Fighting Words Financial. And today I wanted to talk to you guys in a sober and rational way about a stock that I'm actually pretty excited about. And when I think about it, it's really because of the opportunity that it represents when it comes to the metaverse. Now, Unity Software is a company that I mentioned before in my previous metaverse video. And I think that this is an investment theme which deserves to be explored a little bit more. So today I'm going to talk about what Unity does, how they make money, and at the end of the video I'm going to give you my opinion about the future of the company and what moves I'll be making personally in regards to the stock. Before we get started, folks, of course, let's get an early thumbs up for this video, and please subscribe if you like, and check out my Patreon. It's only $5 a month, and I want to say that we're building a really great community of smart people there who, instead of confirming your biases and telling you exactly what you want to hear, they are going to push you and challenge you to think in new ways about new ideas. So Unity Software, which trades under the ticker symbol U, is likely known as the most prominent player for augmented reality and the virtual reality space. Unity Software is primarily known for their video game engine and application programming interface for game developers to build and edit new and exciting games. In other words, Unity Software has built a platform to make the creation of games in a 3D space easier and more accessible to aspiring game designers. I want to point out, of course, that there's a couple of other platforms out there in the metaverse space, but we're only going to be talking really about Unity's platform today and some of the other players that are similar, but really only in comparison. I'll do separate videos on those players as well, and those are NVIDIA's Omniverse, the Unreal Engine by Epic Games, and to a degree Roblox's platform. Unity Software Incorporated was founded in 2004 in Copenhagen, Denmark. Their IPO was in September of 2020, and the company had initially priced the shares at $52 a share. There was a lot of interest in that company on the very first day, and it closed up at about $68 a share, valuing the company at roughly $13.8 billion. Compare that today with the price hovering around $100 per share, they've got a valuation of roughly $28 billion. Unity stock is actually down pretty significantly since their all-time high. Back during the last bull run, they hit a high of $174.94 per share, and they're down around $100 per share today. Now, this is probably a good time to point out that we do own a little bit of this stock in my Patreon portfolio manager group. It's not a huge amount, but it might actually affect my objectivity a little bit while I'm trying to evaluate this stock. So just keep that in mind as I go through and talk about Unity, which I will admit that I'm pretty enthusiastic about this stock. So keep that in mind. That may be coloring the way I present things to you. So what's the big deal with Unity? There's literally thousands of video game companies out there. What makes them different? What problem did Unity fix? Well, it's like this. Unity allows video game developers to utilize the Unity 2D and 3D platform to just start designing games right away, rather than having to figure out how to build a game from absolutely nothing or from scratch. If there's no game engine to develop games on, essentially the developer has to redevelop the wheel every time they start a new project, which requires a vast store of knowledge and skills that's locked away in the heads of people that are pretty expensive to hire. Each individual image, animation, computer function, object, and procedure, anything you could imagine regarding a video game would have to be thoroughly and manually rewritten and recoded. In other words, what Unity has done with their platform is to help developers access this vast store of knowledge to add inputs, scripts, artificial intelligence, and a whole lot more without the need to handwrite every line of code. And they do this by providing a basic platform in which much of the game's basic programming is available through a programming library or something called an application programming interface. This saves an enormous amount of time and money for game developers who use the Unity platform. Unity's best known game on their platform by the general public has to be Pokemon Go, which has netted more than $4.2 billion globally since its initial launch. But the most profitable game ever on Unity is something called Kerbal Space Program, which I'll be honest, I didn't know a thing about until I started researching Unity Software. This game was created in partnership with Take-Two Interactive, and the most recent article that I could find stated that they expect around $77.6 billion in revenue for this game in 2020, up from $24 billion in 2019. I had a real hard time believing these numbers, but that's what they reported. Other popular games on the Unity platform are Hearthstone, Fall Guys, Flappy Bird, and Temple Run. While most games to date have been created for mobile platforms, with Unity's engine, you can make games for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Google Stadia. According to research done by the folks in my Patreon group, Unity has been used to create over half of the top 1,000 mobile games on the Apple App Store and on Google Play. Unity is already a major player in augmented reality and virtual reality for desktops, web, and consoles. The Unity game engine supports many mobile and desktop platforms such as iOS, Android, Microsoft Azure, Linux, and many, many more. Well, basically, here I go again, exposing just how big a nerd I am. The Unity platform is essentially the Borg of the gaming world. They're assimilating everyone, they can accommodate everyone, and resistance is starting to look a little bit futile. Okay, all of you Unreal Engine fans, just keep your pants on. There's a video coming out about that platform too. So how does Unity make money? Unity's largest source of revenue is through Unity Ads. Unity Ads is an ad monetization solution for mobile games which competes directly with Google AdMob or Google Ads for mobile. Essentially, the more developers that Unity has and the more Unity ads that are shown on their games, the more revenue that Unity technology and the developers are going to make due to the higher volume of ads shown to game users. Unity attracts developers to their platform by offering different plans for individuals, teams, and businesses. There's a free version of their platform and a paid version. And the beautiful thing about that free version is that's really set up for students and for beginning developers who want to use the basic features to design games on the Unity platform. But the great thing about that free version is that you can make up to $100,000 in any 12-month period before you pay any fees to use Unity's platform. I think that's pretty amazing. The other option, mostly used by businesses, is of course the paid subscription version. Unity has 3 separate plans, Plus, Pro, and Enterprise, which subsequently offer more features and services for an additional monthly or yearly subscription fee. In addition to those subscription plans, individuals and businesses have the ability to purchase add-ons and to include even more microtransactions as revenue streams for Unity, and all of these plans are royalty-free. The greatest benefit of offering this free access to your programming interface to use until you reach a certain level of income is that it's really effective at bringing more and new developers and content creators into your platform. In a lot of ways, the business model could be compared to YouTube, as YouTube is also free to post your content onto, and both YouTube and content creators have the opportunity to make revenue through advertising. The difference between those two paths, of course, is that YouTube is primarily focused on videos, movies, live streams, all with advertisements. I see greater possibilities in a lot of ways for a company like Unity. I can see that this augmented reality and virtual reality platform is going to have uses for corporate meetings, group and individual therapy, of course video games, virtual concerts, live streams, movies, all while including this microtransaction environment and subscription services all within the games and through the Unity engine. I think that Unity is just going to have an endless variety of ways to make revenues with their platforms, either through large subscription fees or microtransactions. So who uses Unity the most? Unity's game platform is growing and expanding rapidly, but as it currently stands, Unity by developers is primarily used by the AAA game developers. Generally, AAA means they have larger budgets, higher development quality, and have distribution arrangements with major or at least mid-sized publishers. Unity's platform is gaining popularity with indie game developers too. They're usually developed by just an individual or a small team. The individual gamers that play games created by developers on Unity's engine are absolutely numberless at this point already. There isn't one particular target market, it's everyone that plays games on any device. So why could Unity's platform be considered the best game engine? To start with, if you're a game developer, it's already free to use and learn at no cost. However, that's not something that really distinguishes itself from its competitors, since Roblox is also initially a no-cost development platform. So let me preface this next part of the video by saying that I'm not a video game developer, but this is what the research provided to me by one person in my Patreon group suggests, that Unity offers the ability to build games or worlds for multiple platforms, whether it's your PC, console, phone, tablet, AR, VR headset. It's mostly platform agnostic. The Unity engine provides preset models, incredible graphics support, 2D, 3D animation renders, and tutorials to learn from. the Unity's learning curve for programming and developing really isn't all that steep, and it allows a lot of individuals to try out the platform and to master it pretty quickly. The platform has around 60% of total market share in augmented reality and virtual reality, and about 50% of mobile game market share at this point, along with more than 24 billion downloads of the engine last year. As I mentioned before, though, it's not the only engine out there. They do have one major competitor, and that is the Unreal Engine. The big difference between the Unreal Engine and Unity's engine is financial. From what it looks like from our research, with the Unreal Engine, once you reach about $1 million in revenue, the company starts to take a 5% share of that revenue. Unity doesn't do this. So how large is this opportunity? ARK Invest just stated in their ARK's Big Ideas 2021 report that they believe that the monetization of gaming is going to increase by about 20% per year each year for the next 5 years. They also believe that apart from the monetization of gaming, that the augmented reality market could scale from about $1 billion a year today to $130 billion a year by 2030. So the opportunity here is big, really big, folks. So what are my conclusions on Unity? In 2020, Unity reported a 43% surge in revenues to $772 million, while they also showed high dollar-based net retention rates of 138% as of December 31st, 2020, which is up 133% from the prior year. Now, while these numbers do sound great, there's a reason that the stock has been really volatile over the last few months, and that's because Unity has been consistently reporting higher and higher net losses, from $132 million in 2018 to $282 million in 2020. Of course, that larger net loss is due to their continued investments in marketing and software development. And while that sounds like $282 million is a lot of money to lose, as of their last quarter, Unity reported having on hand almost $1.8 billion in cash and marketable securities. This shows that they're in a very strong cash position and they can operate at a net loss for quite some time, even years. However, with their current growth trajectory, I feel like that it's very likely that they're not going to be unprofitable for much longer. I see the vision with Unity and imagine that this company is going to be a lot bigger than it is today. With such great customer retention rates and a trustworthy business model in a fast-growing market, there appears to be a lot of opportunity to earn money in the metaverse, AR, and mobile games, which would put Unity at the forefront of all of that. So here's the bottom line, folks. I think that it's extremely likely that I'm going to be adding Unity stock this year to my personal portfolio as a long-term investment. This is what I'm going to do. This is, of course, not a recommendation for any individual to go out there, buy, sell, or hold any security. This is how I feel. It's just my opinion. I'm just some dude on the internet. Anyway, you folks can let me know how you feel in the comments below. Let me know how wrong you think I am if you do. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my Patreon if you get a chance. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.